We were talking yesterday with Tom Brady about this city and the athletes here, and almost an expectation from the veteran athletes that you are going to go and visit patients, and you're going to go and participate when it comes to fundraising for organizations like Dana-Farber and others. Do you feel like either one of you guys, Jonathan, Robert, that is a unique thing to this city?
Hey, so Greg, I got to tell you a story. So right after we bought the Patriots, well, actually even before the deal closed, when Robert and I were flying home from St. Louis, and where we had reached agreement, in my head I was thinking about all this debt we were taking on and how we were going to pay it, and my father looked over at me and said, you know, the coolest thing about this whole deal is what we're going to be able to do with that logo and those 53 players to make a real difference in the community, because 25 years ago players weren't doing that stuff. And the first player, so, you know, he put his money where his mouth was, at least when he was talking to me. And when he told Bill Parcells, Bruce Armstrong, who was the left tackle at the time, was our first big free agency signing. And Robert wanted to put in his contract that there would be a minimum of 10 appearances in the community each year on behalf of a nonprofit that motivated the particular player, or multiple not-for-profits. And Parcells was against it because he's like, I don't want the players out there. I want them in the building getting ready. And it was put in Bruce's contract, and it's been put in every Patriots contract since, and have built up a huge department around it. And really, I think that led the way. It just wasn't the way. Well, you were in the town 25 years ago. You know, I think it's been a big sea change, and it's been cool to watch.
Well, as Mr. Kraft once said, and I continue to play that audio every chance I get, I've been there since the beginning.
Yeah, well, that's
you
true.
have. You have.
That was a less than enthusiastic response there, guys.
No, but hey, Greg, we think of you as playing hard rock, you know, so we both like that.
Was it WAAF then?
Yes, yeah. That was the original station was WAAF 28 years ago.
Hey, Dad,
I thought
there
you'd
was a
be
company.
impressed.
It was Zappis Broadcasting out in Worcester. We actually wanted to try to buy them. You remember it was a long time ago.
I wish that happened. I feel like I could have received more complimentary tickets than I have if that had happened, Jonathan.
You almost worked for the Crafts, Greg.
Yes.
No, we would have worked for him. They were out in this building out on like Route 9 in Westboro. It was like an old office building, and a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. How excited are you guys, and what can you tell us about Banner Night upcoming?
Well, think about how cool it is for us, and as we were fans and understanding, dreaming about getting one, and here it is. We're about to start our 26th season, and you know, we've had the privilege of doing the 6th one. Jonathan came up with a pretty great idea with the music and the little unfurling ceremony. So I'm going to stay quiet on that unless he wants to speak to it.
Well, I think, Jonathan,
and I'm not sure I came up with the idea, but it'll be a fun night, and we look forward to a lot of energy. And we're opening up. It's nice to open up against the Steelers too, because that's obviously between our two clubs over the last couple decades. That's been a real rivalry. So the banner ceremony should be great, and then it should be a great football game to kick off the season with.
Does it involve Godsmack?
We're not going to talk about what it involves, but we are calling, I believe our crack marketing department has called it the Legends Rise banner ceremony. I think on social media they've started to brand it that way, so we'll leave it at that.
What is it, Robert, when you look back and you think about the legacy of this team, what is it, is there in the success that you have had from the franchise perspective, and not only the success on the field, but the success when it comes to your incredible support of Dana-Farber and other philanthropical organizations for the entire time that you've owned this franchise? What is the one thing that you think organizationally has led to this point success-wise?
Well, the key to life in anything you do, whether it's your domestic situation, philanthropy, or your business, is to try to collect quality people of good character. And then if you're privileged to be able to do that, then the most important thing is continuity. If you have quality people, whether, marriage is tough, but you get through difficult times if you got a good person, and what it does for your family. And it's the same thing in business. I think if people projected out 25 years ago, what's the chances of having a head coach and a quarterback for 20 years who happen to be each pretty good at what they do?
Yeah.
But keeping it together and keeping a system. One of the things we learned early on, when you have coaching changes, you change things, the system changes, and you need different kinds of players, and it gets a little too complicated. So getting a basic system in place and then getting people who fit your system and then maintaining it. And that doesn't mean you're not going to go through some rough times, but ownership's job is to keep it together and try to navigate that. And so I think I'm probably most proud that we've been able to do that.
I wanted to ask you guys to just talk briefly about the Myra Kraft Community MVP Awards and the donation of $275,000 in the names of those Community MVP Award winners.
Yeah, well, thank you for mentioning that. We had the privilege of doing that and yesterday, and it's just unbelievable seeing we had over close to 400 charity people, groups come to us to do that. And we're celebrating volunteerism. That's what Myra was about. And she went in and did the hard work and wasn't looking for accolades. And we chose 26 of those 400 groups, and they ranged. The key people ranged in age from 14 to 76. We had all 6 New England states, and it really is groups that are serving the most vulnerable. And hopefully what we did gives a little bit of hope to these different groups and serves as a catalyst for other people in their communities to support the groups. And it's such a wide range, covering domestic violence and helping new immigrants get settled and helping young people who unfortunately are incarcerated, helping them come out and find a good life, and helping single mothers. Just wonderful, wonderful things. I'm very proud of our staff, and Josh Kraft helped lead that effort.